Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing my August and September favorites. It's finally October. I've been waiting for fall for what feels like ages now. So let's get into the stuff that I've been loving for the past 2 months. There's not a whole lot here, if we're gonna be honest. I kept it very small. I wasn't really branching out with things the past month, so let's do this. First up, let's talk about brushes, shall we? So I have a couple brushes here in my hand that are ones that I have been using a lot more than I normally do in the past month. And the first one of those is this Sonia Kashuk brush. This is the number 18 brush. I think this is actually meant to be like a buffing brush for your face, like for foundation. I use it for contour, and obviously he is very dirty at the moment. But what's nice about this is that I can just dip it in to, let's just grab this NARS palette that I've got here on my desk. So I would just take this, dip just the side of the brush in like this, just tap, 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 and then I would just take this right up and under like that. I don't necessarily put all the product on the top of the brush like this. I go in with it on the side and then use the top to buff it out. So what's nice is that this is very dense, so packing it all onto the side of the brush like that, which I usually use this side here, what's nice about doing that is that it's going to build up the product very nicely under your cheekbone, and then this buffing brush is going to make it seamlessly blend, like not blow out, like when you blow out your eyeshadow, it's like that effect, but with your contour, and that's what I love about this. It does also work well for foundation. You could use it for that, or even a little bit of blush if you really wanted to. I just really like using this guy for contour. The other brush I've been using a lot lately, and I think that this came in a BoxyCharm, this is an Aesthetica brush. This is the P12 brush. This has been my new go-to blush brush. Usually I am using this dude, which I mentioned in my favorite brushes video back in June. Link will be up here. This is one that I got on Amazon or something years ago, and its name has worn off. I don't know where it came from. This one, I don't know. They're not even similar. That's the kicker. This one is kind of densely packed. It is kind of pointier. It's a little bit more thin compared to this guy, which is a little bit more blown out. It's not quite as dense. It's got a little bit more movement. So right now at this time of year, when I tend to go for very simple cheeks, where today's just a little bit of blush right here on my cheekbone, nothing too crazy, this has been working perfect for that. The days that I usually go for that more structured blush look, I'm using that original brush. But this guy has just been fantastic. I have no idea where you can buy him, but I will Google it and try and link it down below for you guys. I will link both of these. I will try and link everything down below. Speaking of this NARS palette, this is another one of my favorites. This I pulled out to use one of the highlighters in a while ago, but I've really been digging into this contour shade down here, which is Laguna, I believe. Right? Are you Laguna or are you Casino? Yes, this one right here. This dude right here, which is Laguna, I believe, in here. I originally reached for this because I was trying to use one of these two highlights down here. And I think I used this in my pumpkin spice latte tutorial, which I will also link above or in the description below if you guys haven't seen that already. Perfect fall tutorial. And this palette in general, I've just been reaching for a lot. I don't know why. It's just been on my desk for the past like 3 months. Out of nowhere, I just really started using this guy. And I don't believe I put it in the last favorites video. If I did, I'm sorry, but I'm still using him. He is still going strong. My palette of choice has been, unshockingly, the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. This palette is what I'm wearing today, actually on my eyes. I am wearing the blue shade in my outer corner, the shade, okay, hold on. I have Cold Brew in my outer corner out here. I have caramel buffed into my crease, and then all over my lid I had vanilla creme, and then I decided to spice it up by adding a tiny bit of macchiato. And actually macchiato is like my favorite shade in this entire palette. It is just stunning on so many levels, you guys. It is just such a beautiful shade. So I just lightly went, look at that. It's like a light pinky pewter kind of shade almost. It's the best way I can describe it. It's not quite as dark as it looks in the pan. The pan, it looks almost like a dark gray. It's not, but it's a beautiful shade. I've definitely been reaching for this left and right. It's a good set of mattes, it's a good set of shimmers, and this is just a really well thought out palette in my opinion. If you are looking for a great fall palette, this is definitely a good one. The other one that I've been reaching for has been my Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I think this might be my favorite Too Faced palette of all time, which is saying something since it's an all matte. I'm not usually someone who goes for an all matte palette. It's not usually how I roll, but this palette I think is stunning. It works all 4 seasons in my opinion. When you come to winter and you're kind of like, I don't know if I really want this, well, switch it out for the darker berry shade. If it's summer, you can kind of stick to your lighter shades. Winter, you can bring out the smoky. Fall, I mean, I think this is just a great palette. I don't think it's necessary in everyone's collection, but if you're looking for a good matte palette, this is definitely one to try out. I think I was wearing this in one of my videos last week. Let's take a break from that and let's do some skincare, shall we? Because I've got a couple of skincare products here. I'm just kind of going to switch back and forth between makeup and skincare, So the first thing I have here is the Clinique Pep-Start cleanser. I almost called it a conditioner. The Clinique Pep-Start I almost did it again. And this is a 2-in-1 exfoliating cleanser. I just want to verify. I think it is an enzymatic and physical. It's not a chemical one. It smells great. It smells kind of like grapefruitish a little bit. Some kind of fruit like that. But this is great. It is a little bit grainy. It doesn't look it when you squeeze out of the tube. It looks just like a clear cleanser liquid, but it does have very fine granules in it that are really great at gently exfoliating my skin to wake it up, especially first thing in the morning. That's kind of when I've been using this. I've been using my Kate Somerville at night to kind of clean out my pores more, whereas this is more in the morning to refresh, wake up, that grapefruit sensation that just zings your skin alive. That's this guy. That's why I've been liking him. I've had him for ages, but I finally just decided to open it because my Kate Somerville's starting to run low. I'm gonna have to buy a new one during the semi-annual sale when that comes up in the next few weeks. Well, in a few weeks, probably at the end of October, beginning of November. The other thing I've been loving has been my Drunk Elephant T.L.C. Framboos Glycolic Night Serum. This is fantastic. I don't think I've ever had, if we're going to be honest, I don't think I've ever had a serum that I used at night that I liked as much as this one. So this is designed to be, I'm trying to think how to, it's meant to be like exfoliating kind of. It's meant to energize, to encourage cell renewal, cell turnover in your skin. And there's some complexes of things in here. There's an AHA-BHA blend, which you find in a lot of exfoliating products. But the nice thing about this is that it does that without needing to be a physical exfoliant. The nice thing about this one is that the physical exfoliant's very fine. It's not too chunky. I think in my earlier empties video, I kind of talked about this a little bit more with the Ole Henriksen scrub that I had in that video, so I will link my empties video up there for you guys. But that's why I like this, is it has that effect, but without needing to be scrubbing your face. So the fact that I get to wake up in the morning with very fresh feeling skin is just perfect. No better way of saying it. Jumping back to some makeup, let's have a moment to talk about blush. Because when it comes to fall, there's kind of 2 blush moods I have. I really like to start using some purplish color blushes like berries and things like that. But if I'm not using those, I'm usually reaching for something like these guys, and these are amazing. You know, when people started raving about the Burt's Bees blushes, I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. It's just because it's a drugstore one, and these are pretty big pans, but they're like 10 bucks, and that's a lot for a blush, and I understand the hype. Now, to be fair, I have worn these as both blush and, in the case of this one here, which is Toasted Cinnamon, I believe. Yep, Toasted Cinnamon. I've worn this as a bronzer as well, but the shade Bare Peach is gorgeous on the cheeks. Toasted Cinnamon's a little too orangey for me to use just on my cheeks alone. It definitely has to be paired with something. I'll usually pair these two together to work as a blush bronzer combo, but they are both just such stunning and gorgeous shades. They're not too heavily pigmented, but they're pigmented enough that they're going to show up on the first go around, and that's what I love about blushes. That's what makes them such a great versatile product, is that usually they're not super pigmented like a highlighter straight out of the gate. So this These are fantastic. I think you should try them if you're looking for a good drugstore brand to try. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Goddess foundation thing that they had, the liquid foundation, but these, fantastic. Give them a look. This is the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Glow Illuminating Foundation in Porcelain. It is what I use to set my face today. That's why my face is a little bit lighter than my chest down here. My neck is actually the same color as my face. It's just hard to tell with the shading because I don't have a bounce to light up here, but I'm starting to lose my summer colors. So this is going to be a great one for me come fall, but this is just such a nice formula. I love baked products, actually. I think that they are just really wonderful to use on your skin because they're not too heavy. They're not going to feel like everything is setting heavily on your skin, and this is no exception. It's wonderful. Another powder that I'm kind of surprised that I'm bringing up, but it's this one, the Huda Beauty Easy, let me get this title right, Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in Sugar Cookie. So I tested this just for kicks, just to see how it was. It smells good too. I was actually kind of surprised. I have had mixed feelings about baking my under eye just because my under eyes can be on the more dry side, and what happens when I bake is it starts to look creepy and I kind of look like a mummy underneath my eyes. But this powder is actually fantastic. I have to give props to Huda Beauty for nailing down a really good formula. Obviously, I haven't tried any of the other shades because I'm too pale to be able to wear the next shade down, which I believe is a yellowish kind of shade, and that would just make me look jaundiced, so I haven't used it. But the Sugar Cookie shade, especially if you're extremely fair, oh my god, it's going to amp up your under eye. This is definitely going to be helpful come winter when I'm at my palest. My concealers are basically going to match my skin tone. This is going to help brighten them just that little bit more, and I am so looking forward to getting to use it for that. I actually have a concealer that I want to talk about, well, two concealers that I want to talk about really quickly, but let's just bring up this guy because I've been using him a lot lately, but I'm not 100% sure if I love him yet, but I am enjoying him. This is the Josie Maran Vibrancy Argan Oil Full Coverage Concealer Fluid. I have mine in the shade Fair. Now, like I was saying, my under eyes are on the more dry side rather than oily, or I don't have a lot of creases naturally under my under eye, usually only if I haven't been sleeping. And this is just such a great hydrating concealer. If you are someone who's like me, who has very dry under eyes, this is definitely something to look into because it's nicely hydrating. The argan oil does a nice job of boosting the hydration in your skin, which is why I've been liking it, but the color's not the best match for me. However, I have been reaching for this all over again. This is my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly. It is my concealer today. It is just such a staple. Everybody knows this. This is the big end-all be-all concealer before Tarte Shape Tape was a thing. I feel like it was either this or the Urban Decay one. Those were kind of the two that people were set on. It was like this whole battle, I feel like, when I worked at Sephora between NARS and Urban Decay on these concealers. And then Shape Tape dropped and it changed everything. But this I've been reaching for a lot because, like I said, dry under eyes, creamy radiant, goes well together. Jumping back to some skincare, I just want to talk about this guy. I purchased this during the spring VIB Rouge sale, and I've been using this on almost a daily basis, and I'm still only about this far down the bottle here. Kind of at the bottom of the Kiehl's logo sign up here. I know it's hard to read because it's not the best colored bottle, but this is the Kiehl's Daily Reviving Concentrate with ginger root, sunflower, and tamana oil. So this I've been using in the morning. Kind of in the step of my routine where I use this Drunk Elephant product is where I've used this. So I will cleanse my face once. I will usually do some kind of a facial spray of some kind, which was my Ole Henriksen that I just ran out of, so now I have to find another one. But then I'll go with just one drop of this. I kid you not, one drop is more than enough for my skin right now. But I really love this. I think Kiehl's does make some good skincare products. I look forward to getting to try out some more of it after the Rouge sale when I plan to purchase some more. I also just really quickly want to talk about this Kate Somerville moisturizer. This is the ExfoliKate Glow Moisturizer. I swear I don't just buy this stuff because it says Kate and my name's Kate. Someone made jokes about that, it's Sephora, but I think this is a fantastic moisturizer. It smells delicious. It smells like the cleanser, which is like pineapple, grapefruit, and something else in there. But it is just, it's also just like a really cool color. It's like this, you know, minty green kind of color. Oof. Love how that smells. But this has just been fantastic. This has got a little bit of an AHA in here. Since, you know, I'm starting to get older, I'm getting closer to 30, I'm trying to be really on top of making sure my skin is still feeling and looking younger, and I'm making sure by doing that by exfoliating regularly and making sure to use things like AHA, BHAs, peels, all of that jazz, because that's what helps keep your skin looking younger. It's what it is. It's increasing your cell turnover to ensure that you have new skin on top rather than skin that's looking dry and not so flattering. I have 2 lipsticks to talk to you guys about really quick. The first one is the one I'm wearing right now. This is the Dose of Colors Liquid Lipstick in Old Flame. I think it is a perfect orangey kind of color. Great for fall. I've been wearing it a lot for the past month of September, but I just wanted to throw that guy out there. The other one is the bareMinerals Gen Nude Liquid Lipstick in Hemp. This is the other one I've been wearing a lot, and I'm just going to swatch him for you guys. It is just a beautiful peachy kind of nude, and I usually top it with a lighter gloss or lipstick of some kind if I want to lighten it and make it a little bit more pale, but I love this guy. It's beautiful with all eye looks, especially colorful ones. Nudes I just feel like are the easiest go-to with those kind of looks, so that's where that guy's been getting some use. I also want to talk about the No Pore Blem Primer from Touch in Soul. It's definitely been growing on me. I wouldn't say it's fully replaced some of my other blurring primers that I like to use, but I definitely do feel like it's doing something, especially in the area right here in particular. My nose, yeah, not quite noticing something so drastic, but right here, it's doing wonders. So that's why I've been kind of using it. I don't know how I feel about it on my forehead, but I know right here on my cheeks and my under eye area, this kind of triangle of concealer area is perfect for it. The last thing I want to talk about is the Dior Backstage foundation. This I tried out in the first impression, and the shade I had was way too dark for me, so I went back and I exchanged it for the shade 0N, and it's what I'm wearing today. It's a tad bit lighter than I am at this point. It'll probably match me really well within the next month, but I have been loving this foundation. It's great. It's lightweight, which is the best part about it, is that it feels lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy, and come fall when everything is very matte looking, I don't want my skin to look matte and feel heavy. I'd rather it look matte but not feel matte. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyway, that is all the favorites I have to talk to you guys about this time. Be sure to hit the like button down below if you enjoyed, and hit the subscribe button so that way you don't miss any future videos of mine. You can also turn on the notification bell so that way you're informed every time I upload a video. I upload 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There is a chance that this month might have some extra bonus videos because I've had to push some videos around so I can incorporate some Halloween tutorials. That is it. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in Monday's video. Bye!